Okay, so we're going to talk about the TYI exercises that I mentioned in the slides. Any scapular stabilizing exercises are fine. I use prone TYI. So prone TYI is making a T, and then a Y, and then an I. But you do this in prone, and sometimes you do it just one arm or the other. So then your T is just one-sided, Y and I. So we're going to do those prone. So I'm going to lean over a table, or you can have the patient on a mat or a plinth, or even a bench press bench. Okay. So yeah, I don't have an assistant. All right. So, okay, I'm going to lean over a table, and I'm going to let my arm hang down. And I'm not going to do anything like the pendulums, which would be swinging your arm. You want to actually control it. This is an active exercise, whereas the pendulums are supposed to be a passive exercise. And so this is very active, and you really want the patient to use their scapula and pinch the shoulder blades. So if they're doing both arms, you really, if you tell them to pinch their shoulder blades together and work hard at it. This is effortless. I can do 50 of these, but I can't do too many TYs. I can do a lot of I's, I think. So the T, I'm not just swinging my arm, I'm bringing my scapula up towards the spine. Okay, so that's the T. And then the Y, it's not straightforward flexion, because we want to go in what we call the plane of the scapula. And so we're doing a Y. And again, I'm really depressing and downwardly rotating that scapula. And then the I, the same thing. I'm not just going to swing my arm back. I'm going to lift that whole shoulder girdle up. Okay, so I don't know if you can see the difference between that, which doesn't put me out of breath, and this. Okay, and I'm not doing a upper trap. I'm actually going down and back. Okay, so that's T, and then they return, Y, and return, and I, and return. And if they're not out of breath, they're in better shape than I am, and maybe they don't need the exercise. But the biggest thing about the TYI exercise is that the patient is going to be not only strengthening the scapula, because it may not be weak, but teaching them to use the scapula when they elevate their arm. And that's the biggest thing, is really getting them that re-education for using the scapula when they're using their humor.